Hello friends, welcome back once again to the live video of xBhp, and this is xBhp Power Talks. So every time when we go live on xBhp Power Talks, we bring some interesting personalities who are powerful in their own domains, and we do a lot of powerful talks with them. So today, in this wake of same and continuing the saga of talking to some really interesting people, we have got somebody who's very adventurous, and he's a guru by the name himself. So there is no rocket science or maybe a prize to guess who is he, because we have already told you in the beginning of the screen and even in the text. So without any further ado, I will call this gentleman here. So hello Shahnawaz, welcome.
Hello.
It is very good to see you here on xBhp Power Talks, and as always, like whenever we talk, whenever we interact, it is always very lively interactions. And of course, the kind of sport you are in and the kind of riding that you do, you have to be very excited, like joyful. No, not joyful actually. You have to be very passionate, I should say. Or maybe I think I should do one thing. I should stop talking and I should let you speak, isn't it? So I'll let you speak about it. Please, just quickly, first of all, let everybody know, because I'm sure many of the audiences who are already watching you are already aware who you are, but there might be few who don't know you. So why don't you just quickly go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, everyone. I'm Shahnawaz Karim, and I'm an instructor on adventure motorcycle riding, former national champion on circuit racing as well in my category. And I have now products in my kitty, which I am launching under my own brand. So everything around motorcycles, that's in a gist me.
That was actually a very small gist. I should say. So now coming back to one very basic question, because I think you have let everything on me to ask you. So I will ask this question: what kind of motorcycling do you do? Because everybody knows that when we are talking to somebody or interacting with somebody on this show, we always have a biker, or if not a biker, somebody who has to do something with biking. But I am sure I have already given away a lot about you by saying that you are a biker. So why don't you tell? And actually, you have also mentioned that you have a range of riding gears. So we will talk about them later. First, let's talk about you as a biker, right? So what kind of biking do you do?
So right now I am focusing everything around big adventure motorcycles. So ranging from a 600cc to an 800 to a 1200, 1250, 1260, all kinds of big adventure motorcycles which feel intimidated. I like to play around with them. Many people call me for private trainings for that as well. I'm associated with various brands, and I'm glad and I'm proud that I have been able to, add value to a lot of guys riding and riding styles, so that they can ride longer, enjoy motorcycles, and don't, just give up motorcycling because of just one fall. I help you understand and go through falls and then recover over them as well. So that's
Wow.
that's the kind.
So should we say you are a biker, you are a paramedic? You help them get up.
No,
All right.
there are only two kinds of bikers: who have fallen or who are about to fall.
Yes, absolutely. And those will become actually a biker who get above all of this. Wow, what a philosophical statement it was. So talking about that, I would like everyone to know what kind of motorcycling you do. I have few pictures of you. I'm not sure if you are aware about them or not, but I will show them one by one, and you can tell us that particular photo is from which event and what were you doing over there. Okay, so here goes the first photo.
Oh, this is on the TVS Apache 200 in 2018, and actually this is for the third or the fourth round of the MRF National Championship, and I was participating in the TVS One Make series, and this is I think yeah, one of those moments where I participated and I won and I came on the podium at
Wow.
BSc. So that season was very special because that time I was also riding the 310 RR, the Apache 310 RR. So I in that season there were days where I never used to take off my racing suit because I was participating in two different categories, 200cc and 310 cup. So it was really back to back on the track experience. It was great fun. And that was I'm glad Tivus was able to support, and I won the championship in the Young Media Races program as well.
Wow, that is great. So actually, when people talk about racing, what comes to people's mind is that, okay, so he's a track racer. But I
Mhm.
have another photo of you which proves you a completely otherwise rider, right? So here is the one.
Yes.
So it again looks like from some championship. So just let us know more about this.
This is at the 2018 Raid Day Himalaya. In fact, actually, these two pictures are within a span of 3 days only, because the national championship in BIC ended on Sunday, and I was riding, and this picture was taken on Wednesday in at the Raid Day Himalaya when we started from Kargil. So this is just between a span of 3 or 4 days. And this was the first time that I participated in Raid Day Himalaya. However, I've been, participant to various other smaller or local rallies or autocrosses. But this was special because, do whatever in one go, break norms. That's what I, believe in. So, yeah. So this was good fun. Also, this happened around September, October, and
Well, I think there was some technical issues.
okay.
We lost you. We lost you in between. I'm not sure if it was a network issue at our end or it was at your end. I'm not
So I was
sure. But then
I was
we would
speaking
like
through.
we would like you to we would like you to please repeat what you were mentioning about. We heard you till when you mentioned that it was I think just another day or something that
Yes,
you
yes,
participated after the racetrack.
yes. So the previous picture which you had shown was at the BIC, and this
Yeah.
was in October. October end, and within 3 days, the next picture is actually from Jammu and Ladakh area. So, and it was very special because this was my first Raid Day Himalaya, and actually the last Raid Day Himalaya overall that anyone could participate till now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also special because you know uh, you 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 get up from a track environment, and you have to be in that zone on a track, and
Right.
within 2 or 3 days you shift your focus, you shift your zone, not just zone but also climatic conditions on a
Right.
track. I'm riding 6-7 batches per day, and
Mm-hmm.
then and that's really hot, and within 3 days you are in minus temperatures riding over there.
Yeah.
I personally have some.
I was actually about to ask you, like, since you participated in two completely different categories of racing, how do
Right.
you think like they are completely like how different they are and how differently somebody has to condition themselves? So, for example, if I'm talking about going on a track, like when I say track,
Right.
the tracks like BIC and all,
Right.
uh, what kind of mental condition or how or the conditioning I have to do for myself? And if I am going for raids like this, raid the Himalaya or maybe other races, how should I customize my brain or train myself?
Sure. So one training that I would say, which is very important, is conditioning of yourself. You need to be physically fit. Although I was not in the optimum shape that I would say, but yeah, yes, I was definitely physically fitter. You need to be flexible as well, so that you can stand in or sit or crouch in those positions for probably hours. One thing which really differentiates between a racetrack riding or a riding which is across rallies. The racetrack riding is around a circuit, so you keep going and putting on laps, and you keep on improving or chasing just the person in front of you. But rallies, you don't necessarily need to be chasing someone ahead of you. You are beating your own time. You are trying to challenge yourself, and at the end of the day, you are seeing things which other person would have not seen. But on a racetrack, it's every corner, every time that you finish that lap, that corner is the same. It's you who is making the difference. While on a rally, it's you plus the environment which is changing across every corner. So both have different kind of challenges. Both have different kinds of thrills. One is a speed thrill. The other one is more of an endurance thrill. So that's the balance between both. You need to prepare, and apart from all of this, you need to have a good setup. So I was glad that from TVS factory team, the motorcycles were prepared pretty well. The same could not happen from my personal side on my rally, because I was running like a privateer. Everyone, majority of the times on raid or any kind of races, runs like a privateer, and privateer life is slightly harder. So that's the essence of the racing career.
Right. So now, since we know that you have been into both the sides of racing, I have
Hmm.
one very basic question. How
Hmm.
did racing happen to you? Like, how did you come into racing? What?
Actually, it started with racing only. So I'll tell you, in 2004 or five, I was out in Chennai for some work, and at that point of time, I visited Sri Perimedur racetrack, and suddenly quite fell in love with the whole racing environment. I'd been riding motorcycles for some time, but the whole experience of racing a motorcycle on a track, that thrill, that motorcycle, even being a very small capacity motorcycle, but going around that pace, like the first motorcycle that I saw over there was a TVS 50, a 50cc two-stroke motorcycle doing more than 100 km/h on a back straight of the MMRT racetrack, and that was a really thrilling experience. And that was the first time that I saw Rajni Krishn's, the Red Rooster Racing R6. I typically, literally fell in love with that sport, and I made it a point that I should go and get trained over there. Although there was nothing to train about at that point of time, but I was glad that at that point of time, once again, TVS had a very nice activity called rent a motorcycle. So rent a bike scheme that they had launched, and I was glad that I was able to rent a motorcycle at that point of time for 5,000 rupees per session, and it was really an experience that I will never forget. And from there onwards, I kept on participating. I went on to Yamaha one make races, crashed, broken bones, etc., etc. But came back. And then, in order to improve my riding style, I moved into off-road. And when I was doing some touring in some parts of the Europe, then I felt that I need to up my skill. So the essence over here is just to keep on upping the game. So my objective was to up the game from a road rider to a circuit racer, and then up the game from a tourer to an adventure tourer. That was the upping the game, and that's when things started happening. When I came back in 2018, I saw a different side of me who could come at podium consistently rather than just shying away of the whole of the things. Yeah.
Right. So you said one very interesting thing that from the road riding to track racing, and from track racing to off-roading, and then off-roading to the adventure track.
Yeah.
So completely different sectors or segment. I'm sorry, segments of racing. So not racing, but the riding. Now, yes, I must have this. Thank you for giving that cue. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, continuing with that, I have one very basic question. As a rider, what do
Mm-hmm.
you think are the key differences between road riding and off-road riding? Because I understand there is a huge difference when it comes on a track, whether it is a track racing or the off adventure or the rallying. But how different they are when we talk about the normal riding?
Right.
Because in I don't know if I should say fortunately or unfortunately, we get roads and off roads both in India at the same time whenever we want to find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I would want to hear your side of it.
Sure. So I would not say this is much more different. As a rider, we have been encountering really bad stretches of roads as well as because we are living in a developing country, and there's always there is roads which are getting developed. There were no roads, and now there are development which is happening towards development. So you'll always find some patches which are not done up. So that way we are in an area which is helping us become used to those kind of riding. But the other thing which is really important is the aspect of understanding these kind of terrains and what needs to be done on those terrain. That's a knowledge that you need to keep on attaining. And before I started training myself, I was hungry for these kind of knowledge, and I was curious. I reached out to people because I could afford. I could go out and get myself trained from various places across the world, and not everyone has that kind of approach. Not money or the will. It's just the approach towards these things, and that's where motorcycling can lead to various avenues in your lives. So I would say that the difference is not that much. However, it's just the attitude. And many people ask, what is the best motorcycle to start adventure riding or off-road riding. I would say whatever you have. I started adventure riding or I started touring on a Yamaha R15 at one point of time, right? So and I've been riding since a long time now.
Yeah. So I know when we talk about touring, you've been with us in one of the legs during the Great Asian Odyssey. So XBHP Dominar Great Asian Odyssey to be
Yeah.
more precise, because Great Asian Odyssey can be done again, but maybe on a different bike. But
Yeah.
so yes, you were there at one of the legs, and so we would like to understand also how was your experience there, because I understand that was a different kind of experience you also had as a
Yes.
biker,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how different it was?
So for our viewers, it was I was between the leg from Thailand to Malaysia, from Bangkok to till Penang, which is in Malaysia, and I thoroughly enjoyed the whole roads and some of the vistas that we took. The motorcycles that we all were riding were performing so well because roughly the motorcycle weighs 170-80 kgs. On top of that, we had the luggage system, the protection and everything somewhere around 30 odd kgs. Then you have your luggage, which is additional kgs, and then you have the rider. So somewhere around 300 kgs is rolling on the roads, and on highways the motorcycle was able to do where it was in some parts of Thailand highways where the speed restriction was 100, and we were able to ride at 100 without any issue. What really amazes is that not just the motorcycle, you have to get used to the riding culture within that area. So if you are entering that area, respect that area, go through those, understand what these guys think of motorcycles, because many people, when we stopped in various places, people asked, "Hey, where are you guys coming from?" And we said that where we are coming from India. "Oh, India, so far. How are you guys riding? For so long. It's been a great experience." So we had stories from those guys, and I still remember. I'll give another example. Some of the guys, when we met in Penang, they said, "We are looking forward to the next rider as well, and we have been following you guys." And it was a very nice experience understanding people across the globe are connected with you, not just physically but also virtually. So that's the whole essence. And why do we travel? Why do we ride across the world? Because that's makes us richer as individual, not just with money but also with the experiences. And this is the experience that we are going to take back.
Wow. I was like actually listening to it like like I was in a session. So, but that was very interesting, and the way you were narrating your kind of story, your side of the story from the ride. Obviously, I was also a part of that ride in various legs,
Yes.
and I also had the similar kind of experience meeting different people, and the kind of response that they give to you is sometimes very overwhelming. Like not in terms of, not in a bad way, but in a very good way that you don't expect.
Yeah.
And the kind of response you get in return is amazing. And you actually were mentioning that there was like about 300 kgs of machinery rolling on the roads, and controlling such kind of machine and the responsibility that you have
Yes.
while riding such motorcycles is really immense, because you have to really take charge of that motorcycle, and you have to be one. You have to be one with that particular bike. And
Yeah.
talking about heavy, yeah, you want to say something?
I want to add also that there is a responsibility as a rider myself in that leg, because I need to
Yeah,
safeguard that motorcycle and hand it over to the next person as well. Right?
absolutely. It
So
was more
this
like a relay.
free rider. There is no backup.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was the most adventurous part. And talking about the adventure and the heavy motorcycles, I would
Yes.
like everyone to see the kind of balance and the control that you have on the bikes. And when you talk about that, okay, you have to be very agile and you have to be flexible when you are taking charge of the bikes on the roads or off roads. Here is the kind of control you should have. And this is you, right? Yes, this is you riding. Which bike is that? It is BMW.
That's yeah,
Claim
that's
it.
the that's the BMW R 1200 1250 GS, and this has been taken in Pune, where we was doing uh, the GS experience, and this was one of the shots that our photographer took during the break, where in between the trainings, I keep standing, and I tell people that you need to do this, you need to do that. That those breaks of 15-20 minutes or during the lunch is where I get to ride the motorcycle. And at that is the time where photographers also wait. Now Shahnawaz is going to do something. Let's. So they skip their meal to come for the photograph,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Let me show everyone what other things that you can do and or you do. This is this is insane. Like for a rider like me, I really love riding and been riding for such a long time now, but doing this on such a huge motorcycle and a heavy motorcycle, I don't know. Yeah, I've tried this once. I did took a very good took off, but the landing was really memorable. And then here it is. Where was this taken? I don't know. It seems like ranch. Is it?
Yeah, no, so this place actually is called OTR Dirt Park. It is just before Throttle Shuttle. Now they
Yeah.
have changed that place. So this is actually when the 850 GS was launched, and I had asked BMW Motorrad guys that next week onwards the training would start, and just let me get control of the motorcycle. So I rode it for 5-6 hours, and when I was returning back, I saw one of the friend at the OTR Dirt Park, and he said, "Bring this motorcycle." And I thought, yeah, why not? And then when these guys were doing these jumps and all of these things on on an impulse and all of those motorcycles, I thought, this motorcycle is capable enough. Let's do it.
Why not? Let me do this.
If you see, this is still on the road tires with stock suspension and everything. So
Yeah, look
so
at
yeah,
that. So one can actually see the tread pattern. over there. It
Yeah.
is actually a very much road tires.
And even if you see the handlebar is still on a seated kind of position where it's for comfort riding and all that. It's just the that moment that you feel let's do it, and you should be confident and you should have those built up skills. And I'm not saying that I'm highly skilled, but you should have confidence in pulling it off. That's
Yeah.
what.
So talking about, like, you say that you're not saying that you are highly skilled, but I have this photo wherein you are encouraging the biker. I think he's your student or someone.
Yeah. He's one of the participants at the training screen, and this exercise is actually called riding in circle with full steering lock. And what I'm doing is that I'm telling this guy to bring his chest up, bring and build some confidence, bring it up. Otherwise, what people do, they just hunch down and they just start
Yeah.
feeling that the motorcycle is too heavy. So bring the confidence up. As soon as you bring your chest up, the confidence comes back. Just like in life.
Right. Actually, generally people think that if they go close to the handlebar, they will be able to control it much better.
Yeah. So all of the exercises is about building rider's capability. The motorcycle is there. It's the same when it was built on day one, and
Yeah.
it would be almost the same when you will plan to sell it.
That's very weird.
Yeah, but it's the rider skills which can be developed even further so that you can enjoy that motorcycle.
Absolutely right. So now, since now we all know that the kind of rides or the kind of riding that you are into, more
Mhm.
on the adventure side, as a rider, like if you had to tackle a ride, like maybe not exactly the Dakar, but
Mhm.
something like that,
Mhm.
which motorcycle will you choose and why? Because you have the experience and the, I would say, experience. I would say yes, experience of riding all kind of motorcycles. A small motorcycle, as we know that you have raced in. You still race in under 600 cc, right?
I'm last year I could not because second half of the last year I had an injury, and the first half of last year I was totally into training. Almost every weekend I was training.
Right, right.
So
So considering that you ride on both the sides and now more on the adventure side, which particular motorcycle would you choose to maybe go on a ride or maybe a
or a
trail
rally,
like Dakar? Yeah, if
something like
not
that.
specifically Dakar.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Why not Dakar? Why not Dakar? Yes.
Why not Dhaka? But I'm just saying. So more than the motorcycle, what I would actually need is good suspension, good
Mhm.
tires, good fuel range. That's the three important aspects apart from a good rider. But you
Mhm.
need good suspension travel. You need a good tire setup,
Mhm.
and you need fuel range. Right. So these are the three things which are inside the motorcycle that you need. But if you want to do something like a Dakar, you need also a backup crew, right?
Yeah.
Which should be
But,
there.
but
So
but which bike they are going to give the backup to? That is the question.
yeah, so if you talk about a competitive sport like a Dakar, they have rules that it has to be a 450 cc and all of that. But there are three motorcycles that I would love to ride on. One is a classic, which is the R80GS.
Oh.
Yes, which won the Dakar multiple times, and which made it possible that adventure motorcycles can win rallies.
Yeah.
So R80GS, slightly modified R80GS is one of the motorcycles that I would like to take that. The other motorcycle is Ducati Desert Sled. That's another really capable motorcycle, very well balanced, very well poised motorcycle. And the third one would be the KTM 690 Enduro. These are the three motorcycles which have a mix of everything. Apart from that, everyone wants a lighter motorcycle, a long travel suspension, good tires, and everything. So that's given. But when you ask me, I would do one leg on one motorcycle, the other leg on the other motorcycle, and third leg on the third motorcycle.
That,
That's how I would
yes,
want. If I
that's
can
true.
wish, I can wish all of that.
But for that, you have to be a film star who can ride on two bikes together. Because yeah. All right. So now coming to very very basic question, going back to the young ages of yours. You
Yes.
are still very young, but I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make you feel a little old. Yeah. So on which bike? Like which was your first bike?
Okay. So that's that. The first motorcycle that I purchased
Yeah.
was was a 2001 Hero Honda CBZ. CBZ. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the one that changed the fast motorcycle game.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The one which was launched during the '99 World Cup.
Yeah, with the disc brake. Yeah, if I
Yeah.
remember, that was
With
the
the
first bike with the disc brake. I still
disc
remember
brake,
the commercial, the
front
puppy on the road, and
field and
yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
yeah. So now you
FC
must
was
have,
the technology.
yes. So you must have owned a lot of motorcycles till date.
I
Which
have,
one?
now I don't own that many motorcycles. I just ride that more than
Yeah,
those. But
yeah,
yes, eventually I wanted to have a very nice, very functional garage. Then I realized that I don't get time to ride, so I started selling them off.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
so, but then till date, like out of all those motorcycles that you have owned, whether you have them now or not, but you owned, which
Mhm.
was your favorite? Which was your favorite till date?
I think the RX 100, RX 100 was my.
That was my favorite, my favorite as well.
In fact, the RD350 as well. But
I know.
but RX 100 was special because I bought it for my younger brother, and
Mhm.
I used to ride it more.
That is how bikers are. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't leave any opportunity to ride a good motorcycle.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. No, and also the thing is that that motorcycle made me closer to I would say all forms of motorcycling, because if you look at the pedigree of the like the RX 100 for me, that was the one motorcycle which used to be on the racetrack, which was also on the off-road or in motocrosses at that point of time when it got introduced. That's what it was capable, or whatever it was, that's the only motorcycle which was available, right? But
Yeah,
that made a point that it's not the motorcycle, it's the rider, right? Whoever won whichever races, whichever rallies, they were the riders who made the difference rather than just the motorcycle. And it taught me as a rider a lot, because I used to keep on tinkering around that motorcycle. Everyone says that it's a two-stroke. Still, it would have given you nightmares. But actually, my CBZ, gave me more nightmares than the RX 100. So I had a fabulous time with the RX 100. One of the motorcycles which was hassle-free, fuss-free, was another Yamaha. At that time was R1, the first batch R1.
right, right.
So those were those small capacity motorcycles which I could own at that point of time. So
R1,
those, yeah,
small capacity.
yeah,
Okay, so
so,
I have one another question, because you also instruct people how to be a better rider on a motorcycle.
yes, yes.
How or what do you suggest, or what do you advise to them, that how should they not only take care of themselves but also
Hmm,
the machine?
yes.
Because taking care of machine is very very important. So what are your inputs to the bikers, like how and what should they do?
See, there are two very very important things. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. So there are two very important things which are very very close to around running the or taking care of the motorcycle. The first being the exterior, and the second is interior. And when I'm saying interior, that means all of the conditions that could be run upon. uh, one thing which people usually forget is that everyone says that if it is an adventure motorcycle, if it is dirty, that's how it should be. And that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. If you don't care about your motorcycle, she won't care about you.
Yeah,
Okay. And I see that many people just keep their motorcycles dirty because it looks good on the picture, right? But actually, it is harming all the joints, all the fork seals, all the rubbers, etc., etc. What we need to really look into is clean the motorcycle. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do, but come back and clean the motorcycle, right? That's the basic that the motorcycle also expect. if
Yeah.
if 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 you understand that it also has an emotion attached to you, right? And the second thing is internal. Many motorcycles have a specific time frame for servicing or even parts replacement. So people usually say, no, these motorcycles have not covered that many kilometers, but there is a time span for everything. So respect that time span and get the motorcycle serviced, get it fixed. If you don't want to ride it, sell it.
Yeah.
Don't keep it. And I have learned it from my mistakes, let me put it that way. So I've had my motorcycle which I never rode it for a year, and then suddenly I thought that now I can ride. The first thing that I did was take it out, get all the oils changed, because that's the first thing which gets settled in your motorcycle. You never know where it will give back. The battery needs replacement and all of these small things, but it adds longevity to your motorcycling experience, not the motorcycle.
Right, absolutely right. So now coming to the other point, because that was, yes, definitely taking care of your motorcycle is very, very important, and that is something goes without saying. Now comes the rider's safety himself. So
Right.
being an instructor, would like what would you like to share, like some basic tips with our viewers in regards to riding off-road
Hmm.
safety?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, riding
So,
safe is definitely goes without saying, but how to stay safe while riding off roads?
so there are two things which actually there are three things which as a rider you can do for safety. The first
Mhm.
thing is invest in riding gear, right? The second thing is invest in guards on your motorcycle. Okay.
Mhm.
And the third thing is also upgrading your skills, because when you upgrade your skill, that's also
Invest in
improves.
your skills.
So yeah, invest in yourself. So
Yeah.
I have a very nice percentage towards this. So if you have bought, let's assume 10,000 rupee motorcycle, okay, uh, just hypothetically, that's the number. Okay, 100 rupee motorcycle. Okay, you should invest at least 20% of that cost in your riding gear,
Right. Absolutely.
right? You should invest at least 15% of investment towards accessory or upgrades minimum, right?
Yeah.
But
Guarding the bike.
apart from the bike, but the cheapest is your skill,
Yes.
right? Even if you start watching it videos and understanding how people are doing, this is the cheapest thing that you can do,
Absolutely.
right? So up your game, so that eventually there would be less spends on the motorcycle safety and your safety. However, it is imperative that you should invest in safety. So be all the time, all the gear. That's what I would say as an
I get
instructor
it.
as absolutely. So as an instructor as well, I never ever move a motorcycle while sitting without a helmet. That's a must. Okay,
That is
I've had I yeah, people can move. In my trainings, I've seen people. मैं तो जी चला रहा था बस यहाँ से लेके यहाँ आ रहा था. You never know what can happen. You
true.
never know, right? You
Absolutely.
are in a controlled environment. Still, you never know. There might be another friend of yours who's just roaming, who is not looking at you, who's just rammed into you.
Yeah.
Yeah? There should be no excuses in life. You've got one life. Respect it. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's one of the key things. And remember, the first point of contact on the ground when you're riding the motorcycle is not your shoulders but your knees, right? So everyone first time they buy good helmet, but you should protect the other parts. I've seldom seen people riding on the roads as well with a knee guard.
Yeah.
Right. So as a market, we will evolve, but that's my responsibility to keep on educating people, telling people in whatever platform that I can get that please wear
Absolutely.
proper riding gear.
Now, talking about riding gears, how can I miss out on this particular point while you are there racing on the tracks and on the rally and the off-road and training people? You are not only advising them to ride safe and wear riding gears, you are also selling riding gears. Your
Yes.
own, your own brand,
Yeah.
right? So how did that come to you? I am sure it must have come to you from what you
Some
have
extent.
seen and
Yeah.
what you've been
So
instructing people.
so I would say when you said I am also selling, I'm not just selling. What I'm doing is
Promoting.
developing.
Yes.
No, not just making, but I'm developing it. So
And I said promoting that you should ride safe. You
yeah,
should always wear riding gears.
yeah.
Now you can wear anybody's riding gear, but here is mine as well.
Absolutely. Exactly. So when I was riding somewhere in a very exotic location, I felt that there was a problem that I was not able to I wanted to go to a ice cream parlor, but over there helmets were not allowed. However, bag was allowed. And what I thought that why can't I convert my jacket into a backpack and put my helmet, gloves, and everything inside? That's where the whole Urdu में एक word है fitur.
Hmm.
वो चढ़ा. And then there was a never stopping moment. Then I came back, made more than 27 prototypes of my product, and then figured out that this is the perfect way and the easiest way to convert a riding jacket into a backpack, so that when you're riding your motorcycle, it should protect you. When you're off your motorcycle, it should protect your helmet. As simple as that. And you should, and
Right.
then effectively you are hands free. Like take for example, you go to any event like a IBW or a Rider Mania. Your full day you are or an intermot, right? Your full day doing nothing, and then you see that, then you feel, where should I keep my helmet? So as a result, majority of the people, they don't bring their helmets.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're kind of safe, if you want to be safe, wear your helmet, and then it's this product helps you carry it safely as well, and carry it hands free so that you can have meaningful conversations.
Right. So since you have missed out on saying that, let me
Yeah.
say that the brand is Ulka.
The brand name
Ulka.
is Ultra Gear. The jacket is called Hackett because it is a jacket which has been hacked. So Hackett.
Yeah. It's a hack.
Yeah.
Right. Lovely. So
There are many more things coming within the brand.
right. Lovely. So I am sure the audience will go and explore it on your website.
Yeah.
So now, since we are towards the closure of the session of of tonight, what is it like? Is there something that you would like to share or maybe tell our audience as a closing message from your side?
So I think we have touched upon all of those things in bits and pieces. But one thing which I would tell to everyone is that everyone makes mistakes. So try to learn from others' mistakes, but don't be afraid of making your own mistakes in terms of learnings. And the second thing is, when you make mistakes, you safeguard yourself. So it's important for you to be, in learning. You will have those downfalls, so remember to be prepared for those. And how do you prepare as a motorcyclist? Is prepare yourself with riding gear and your skills. These are the only things that are going to save you. Because there are many people who want to, cross the divider or cross the, red light on a traffic signal. So safeguard yourself, which is very, very important. And I would say a big thanks to xBhp and the whole team for creating these avenues for many motorcyclists to really learn about various things, various aspects of touring. And I was glad to be part of some of the things that you guys do as a community. It's I have been associated for quite a long time. And
I remember I sagged you. I remember. So what I'm talking about is like there was a music video that we did. If you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it on all the platforms of XBHP. It was the XBHP RR, like the rap replica, in which one of the characters was played by Shahnawaz, and I was his boss. I sacked him.
that was a funny moment while we were picturizing that. It was good
Yes.
fun.
Funniest moment, like we had to be serious, and it was the most difficult part to be serious.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, lovely. So great. Thank you so much, Shahnawaz, for coming with us today and sharing your thoughts
Yeah.
and letting everyone know like how should they ride safe in the various kinds of riding conditions, whether it is track or on the rally or it is road or the off roads, and what all they should do.
The best way to understand is that I keep on posting some videos or the others. These are small bits and pieces on Instagram. So I'm available on Instagram as @Shahnawaz Karim. While I'm available on all the platform at the same name, so you can find me
Always
there.
do.
Or Wheels Guru. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and it was lovely talking to you.
My pleasure.
So, with that, I will take your leave and I'll go back to the audience. And I want to tell all of you, as Shahnawaz was saying, please ride safe. Always stay attentive when you are on the road because there might be hundreds of people who may want to cross the road, who may want to overtake you, or who may not be watching you at all. So, just keep your eyes and ear open all the time. Ride safe, ride hard. We will come back once again with some other interesting personality next time in the XBHP Power Talks. Till then, bye bye.